Hello, folks. This is Tony Hager with Takedown Russell, and today we're headed to Virginia to talk to Keith Gavin. How are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, we're a week after U.S. Open, almost a week after the Open, and you've had a lot of success out at the U.S. Open. You were back-to-back U.S. Open champ, and then this last match against Herbert had a great tournament up until that match. Let's walk through that final match and the first period. You were in on a deep double, and he put you up for four.
Yeah.
How what was your thought as soon as he scored that? Because it seemed like you were really aggressive after that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was down by four, so I definitely need to get going. I think I probably could have taken a little bit, even more risk because, it takes more than two takedowns, because he had a 4-pointer. So even if I had two takedowns, I still had to score again. So I had a lot of catching up to do after that. But yeah, I shot a double leg and I got my head caught underneath, and instead of I should have just tried to clear out of that. We were kind of close to the out of bounds, so I thought I could maybe drive him out, And when I drove in, he settled in for that chest lock, and he had me. I was stuck. So
It was kind of like I couldn't believe how quick he just planted his feet and took you over. I thought, like you said, you were going to take him out for at least a push out, if not for two.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was planning on, and then he went for that, and he got me in that, and like I said, I had to do a lot of catching up after that.
Now, what do you learn from this match and take away from it, having to wrestle him and Ruth? I mean, this weight class is just brutal, and now with the addition to Jake in it, where do you have to go from now until World Trials?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, the weight class is really deep. There's definitely not going to be an easy match at the trials. Um, but I mean, I feel like I wrestled really well at the Open. I just, in the finals, I got hit with a move that, I should have saw coming and I didn't. But that move's not going to happen again. So it's not like I need to. It's not something that I have to worry about really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I wrestled well, and I just gotta, in the next month, I gotta try to improve in the little areas that I need improvement, and I should be all set.
I mean, that 4-pointer was really the difference maker, because when I've watched the match a couple times, and you were
Mm.
doing a good job of trying to clear the hands, and you got in on a real good shot,
Yeah.
but it was just almost too late at that point. He got a push out on you.
Hmm.
You were working that inside trip, which you end up eventually getting. Was that something that you were trying to go to earlier? That inside trip on him?
Yeah, well, I felt it a little bit earlier. A couple times when I was snapping him, he would shoot off my snap, and then when he'd shoot, he'd come up to the body, and he was just coming straight up, and I felt like I could definitely trip him, and it just opened up later in the match. But I had some other opportunities as well. Like you said, I get in on a single that I didn't finish, and I had a few arm drags I almost had. So really, it's just a matter of, even though I was down by four, I still could have made that up. What I just needed to kind of bite down and finish a few opportunities that I didn't.
You've been it's been a year now that you've been at Virginia, correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's my first season.
Well, how has your experience been there now, on the coaching front and also training at the same time?
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I mean, I really love coaching. It's something that I figured I always knew I'd want to do it, and it's been a blast. I love working with the guys here and doing all that. And as far as training too, it's really not that much different than what I was doing. Now I have a little bit more. Um, I run a lot of the practices, so I have a little more control in that area. But I would just jump in with the guys and I'd wrestle with them and I would do what they did, and that's what I was doing when I was at the Ohio Regional Training Center. I was just wrestling with the college guys and stuff. But now really the only difference is in between my workouts, I don't go home. I come in the office and do office work. So but yes, it's not too much different, and I think that being 29 years old now, and I've been doing this for a while, the competing and training, that I've had the experience where I'm able to juggle both. I probably wasn't able to do this in my younger days.
I had an interesting conversation with a wrestling fan about when do actual, like, professional wrestlers peak? When do Olympic wrestlers peak? Do they is it high school, college, or on the international circuit? And that was a
Mhm.
tough question for me to answer. Was never on the international circuit. I wrestled in college, but I'm looking at kind of your background. You didn't were never a state champ in high school. College,
Right.
you're an All-American, and now you're 1 and 2 in the nation at 86 kilograms. Do you feel like right now you're peaking?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's different for everybody as far as the peaking thing goes because everybody's a little bit different. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that win on speed and power, and so I think that someone that's their game, they might peak at a different time than someone like me. I mean, I feel like I'm still getting better, and my skills are the best they've been yet. So I guess in that way, I'm peaking because I'm still learning. I'm a continuous learner.
Are
Um,
you learning now that, when you're sitting back as an actual coach, paid coach, and able to see these kids come up through high school into college,
mhm.
are you picking anything up from them? Just, hey, man, you just kind of sit back and be like, maybe this is something that I should do in my lifestyle. Have you picked anything up from those kids?
Um, No, not really. I mean, I know a lot of people say that, like, oh, coaching, you see a different side of it and all that, and that's true. You see a different side of it, and maybe you get a little clarity of like why some people are successful and some aren't. And it's not. I don't know. I guess it opens your eyes up to some different things in that aspect because when you're just competing, you're just focused on yourself. But now I'll see why one guy might do well and another guy on our team won't, or why one thing works for one guy and it won't work for another guy. So I guess you learn in that aspect. But for me personally, I'm still, like I said, everybody's different. So it's not like I could really pick something out for one of the guys on the team and implement that in my lifestyle. I kind of do my thing and they do theirs.
Are you Are you trying to get the college wrestlers in the off season? Do you guys do a lot of freestyle practices because that's what your forte is? Are you getting
Yeah.
these guys in the room and practicing a lot of freestyle?
Yeah, yeah, I am. We're bringing a bunch of guys to the University Nationals. I think it's the end of May, and so yeah, we've been doing a lot of that, a lot of freestyle, and it's something that I've been trying to bring when I got here. Because it's my favorite style. It's what I like to do, and I honestly think it makes you a better folk style wrestler. The more you wrestle freestyle, the better you have to be at your finishes. You can't be rolling across your back and things like that, and that can only help you in folk style. So yeah, we've been focusing on that. We had a couple guys go out to the junior tournament while I wrestled in the senior one, and now we'll bring a bunch of guys to universities.
How about Greco? Greco is kind of being is I want to say a rejuvenation, but it just seems like people are trying to force it down people's throats now. There's a Go Greco initiative. Is that
Yeah.
something that you guys are trying to instill too? Is a little more Greco?
Um, I mean, honestly, no. Just because I mean, I'm all for it, the Go Greco and all that stuff, and I hope that they succeed in that effort. But honestly, I don't even know what the rules are right now in Greco. I mean, I feel like it changes all the time. That I couldn't even coach it. I couldn't. We couldn't run a Greco practice because I don't know what the rules are. I haven't. I don't know. I just can't keep up with it. And maybe just because I'm so in tune to what I'm doing in freestyle that I just haven't paid attention. But
It
yeah, it's just the way it is, I
is that a
guess.
big problem with our sport? I mean, you're a coach. You've been wrestling for so long, and you don't even understand it. How are we supposed to expect our fans to?
Yeah, no, I think it's the biggest problem in our sport, and it's not just Greco. I mean, Greco has been recently been. I mean, I feel like they change the rules every month recently, so it's like almost impossible to keep up with. But yeah, I mean, the freestyle rules have been changed, and thank goodness they have been
Yeah.
because they were in the past they were terrible when it was the 3 2 2 minute periods. I mean, that was the worst it's been, and now this is some of the best rules that we've had, and it's
And the ball drop. How bad was that?
yeah, it was awful, and it's kind of I mean, it's to think back that that's the way that we used to wrestle. I mean, it's shocking that that happened for so long, but anyways, it's our biggest problem in wrestling is that wrestling's a sport that's hard to understand.
In our sport, and when I was talking to somebody about this as well, you think of the NFL, NBA, MLB, some of the biggest sports that people
Hmm.
watch, they don't change the rules a whole lot. I know some NFL rules got changed here a couple years ago, but at the end of the
Right.
day, stuff kind of just stays the same.
Right. I think what it is we're too focused on making the matches exciting. Everybody talks about like we need to encourage entertaining matches and things like that. But no matter what you make of the rules, no matter how many times you change it, there will always be a boring match. Like there's no way around it. Just like there will be a boring football game, there's going to be a boring baseball game. But people still go because they understand it and they can relate to it. And most of the time it's not boring. Just like most of the time in wrestling, it's not boring. If you watch the U.S. Open, there are a lot of exciting matches, but there will be a couple boring ones. Changing the rules isn't going to get rid of that. So I think we gotta get away from that idea that we need to make it the sport exciting. Or fan friendly. People always say we just need to make it more understandable, more relatable. And I mean, there's no way around. There will be exciting matches and there will be boring matches, no matter what the rules are.
And I think too about what do you think about like we have to do a better job of promoting our athletes and getting people to know, like yourself, Keith Gavin,
Yeah,
interviews like this, so we know who our athletes are. We need a villain,
right.
and we need the villains, and we need the good guys. And I think we have that in our sport. Tony Ramos is one that comes to mind. What are your thoughts on him? How he is very vocal about his reign at
Yeah,
his weight class. Do you like that?
yeah. I mean, to each his own. I'm not going to do it. I don't. It's just not. I don't see anything wrong with it, but it's just not my personality. So yeah. I mean, I think that Tony's doing a great job. Obviously, I think he's really, really good, and he's gotten. I mean, it's impressive how much he's improved since college. And yeah, I mean, I think it's good that people are talking about him. I think that it's good that he's not afraid to say what's on his mind in interviews. And not saying that other people are afraid. It's just different personalities. But that's good. I mean, everybody has a story. Everybody has a different personality, and a guy like Ramos, his is to just say what's on his mind and go off in interviews, and good for him.
Personalities in the sport is what I think is going to help grow it and getting a better idea who these people are. And how we're
Right.
getting to know these people is through the power of social media. And as being in the coaching game now, how powerful is that to you guys contacting athletes through social media and doing a good job of portraying your program on social media?
Yeah, well, it is important, and I mean, obviously, as far as winning's the most important thing. If you win a lot, then the rest kind of takes care of itself. People want to be with winners. People want to, recruits want to come to a winning school, and fans want to watch a winning team. But at the same time, you need to sell your program, and social media and stuff like that's an easy way to do it.
Coach, I appreciate you coming on the show with us. Coach, wrestler. I mean, what do you consider yourself? Hey, I'm a coach, or hey, I'm a USA wrestler.
I mean, I guess I'm both. I'm still kind of learning the coaching side of things. Obviously, I'm really comfortable in the practice setting, but there's a lot more to uh, coaching collegiately than just running practices, or teaching technique. That part of it is, I feel like I'm pretty good at that, and then the other stuff I'm kind of still new to, and getting that down.
Well, wrestling fans, we've been with Keith Gavin, and if it's anything like, oh, the lights got turned out.
Yeah.
Well, if his coaching career is
Sorry about
anything,
that.
yeah, you're fine. If his coaching career is anything like his wrestling career, where he has progressively gotten better and getting more accolades and more awards, the coaching will follow, and hopefully Virginia Cavaliers will be the beneficiary of that. Keith Gavin on the Nike Hot Seat. Thank you, and we will see you at the World Team Trials.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.